Well, the one area you got to work on is your text and your shadows. Your shadow is not even fitting to your character. So if you see here, where the tips of the corn is, you need to move it up, and you also need to go in and make it more blurry. When you look at a shadow is not a very distinct shadow. It should be blurry, and then as it gets farther away, it should dissipate. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the move tool and move it, try to move it up. And you might have to distort it to get this over here to fit in. So, you might have to use your transform commands. Let's see if distort would help. Yeah, see, you gotta know how to manipulate, and you're not working with that aspect. You're just putting it in, and you gotta think how the character is. So next thing I'm going to do is go up to Filter, Blur, and I'm going to choose Gaussian Blur. So I want to make it less blurry. Okay. Then I'm going to use the layer mask, and I'm going to use a gradient tool, black to white, and as it gets farther away, you want it to get basically dissipate, for that. Um, for this part, we want to add some creativity. When it comes to text, as a designer at an art school, you got to think about some different ways to bring out your text and to work with it. Having flip and food Fred down here just doesn't make sense because it's too hard to, you just don't see it. You have all this room up here, you know. So what I suggest doing is coming up here at the top. I'm going to put flipping food on one layer, and I'm going to put Fred on another, and I'll make that a little bit larger so we know the name, and just like that. Because you want something that's going to make it stand out, for that. And so putting it on two separate layers is going to help. Okay. Now you can apply clipping mask, but typically, as you're working with the drop shadows and so forth, go the next step. Take a look at some other layer styles that you can work with. For example, I do food layer styles, and you can download free layer styles and then load it into your styles panel. So there's so many things you can go, and this is all layer styles. This is just styling. If you wanted to create a cookie look, you can create a cookie look, a sushi look. So what you do is you download the styles. You don't want to buy anything. They're all free. You just want to look for free ones. You go to your styles panel, and this is the styles panel right here. Window. You can get access to styles. You click on this little drop down, this arrow here, and you can load your styles. You have to know where they're at. And what happens is the styles are downloaded, and once you extract them from a zip folder, they're ASL files. And all you do is you click on the styles that you want, you click on load. Now, I already have the fruit, the one loaded. Like for example, for Fred, I might do this orange. So look how it makes it look like an actual side in the orange. But you have to make sure it's the right size font and so forth. And I usually, if you use a white background, that's where it's going to be the white text. That's usually when you apply a style, it blends with it and tends to get a little bit better for that. So if I come over here to layer style and I use, here's the one, there's different ones up here. You can see that when I apply the orange, this up here does not react the same as down here because it's just not large enough. So, this is just where you can experiment. There's so many different styles out there that you can work with that could work with what you're trying to do. So I want you to take some time for your milestone submission. Think about that.